All right, welcome to Raw Dogs Radio. Where we give you the absolute truth. The absolute truth. At least from my perspective. I'm joined tonight with Brian Snow of Snowman in the Morning. How you doing, Snow?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. So we got the breaking news today, early this morning, about the Chase Claypool trade. And I had to think about it. I'm like, you know what? This guy, he's pretty much writing his own history as far as how the league sees him
Mm-hmm.
simply by his antics. He can't blame nobody on what he cannot blame anybody
But
for
himself.
everything that's happening to him but himself. It apparently is not a secret that the second the Bears set him down, Justin Fields started looking like a number one draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very upset that I missed last night's game. I wasn't even sure there was a game.
You didn't miss much.
I mean, they got their first win. He threw for 4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
I repeat.
Again.
I repeat my sentence. You ain't missed much.
But
It's just in freaking Fields.
I like Justin Fields. The Bears GM from what? Okay, take a look at. You have to really take a look at what the Bears GM what he's done. All right, with
I
the
have.
trade.
I've seen
Yeah.
it. I've seen them. I've seen those GMs make stupid move after stupid move after stupid move for 40 years.
Okay. Now it looks like just by removing one poison pill, suddenly now everything is come together. It's like Chase Claypool was the gum that was in the works. And well, then how do you explain 2 games in a row with him not in there? Justin Fields is looking like a superstar.
A blind squirrel finds a nut a couple of times. Next question.
Oh my God. Raw Dogs Radio. So okay, so
just
tell
because
me what
Chase
you think about it.
Claypool, while I got my sound base up, I may as well empty the chamber. So just because Chase Claypool is not in the lineup, and rightfully so not in the lineup because he's a bum, every Bear fan that I have spoken to today, because of Justin Fields' performance, is thinking,
I'm the juggernaut, bitch!
and he ain't.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, you tell me what you think he's lacking.
Do we have time?
Yeah, we got time. I don't have to do the other show till 9 p.m.
Good.
Come on.
Then
I got
I'll,
plenty of time before I talk politics. Let's go, baby.
Okay, first of
Hey,
all,
how you doing there, Swifty and V-Lock?
what's up, Vic? Listen, Justin Fields is one of the most inconsistent quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life. Inconsistent. Now, I do put a lot of fault on the Bears for allowing David Montgomery, their multiple time 1,000-yard rusher, to walk. Okay, I will put on the organization. Matter of fact, since this is Raw Dogs Radio and I have a chance to do some live research, which I do on my morning show every day, I'm going to do this right now. Justin Fields is inconsistent at best. And anyone who's a fan of Kevin Samuels knows where I borrowed that line from. You mean to tell me, okay, let's go back 2 weeks.
Share your screen. You want to share the screen? Share the screen.
I'm fine. Let's go back 2 weeks to September 24th in the house of the world champion Kansas City Chiefs. And the Chiefs have not been consistent either. There's no line in front of him. There's no running back behind him. There's no fullback behind him either. And they threw Justin Fields to the Wolves, called Arrowhead Stadium, and he threw for 99 yards. 99. So we're just going to gloss over that, given the fact that he threw for 335 against the Broncos in a game that the Bears and he threw for 282 against the Washington Redskins, and all of a sudden he's a world beater. Man, get the hell out of here with that. Until I see it consistently, and we're talking 6-7 games in a row, and the Bears actually win, and the Bears actually have the gumption to win, I ain't fooled.
Okay, so he needs to have, for you, at least a consistent track. Let's say he's on a consistent track of 250 yards. Okay. Wait. 250 yards per average because he is a mobile quarterback. You got to factor that into the equation.
That he is.
250 yards on average per game with at least, let's say, 3 touchdowns per game. That's be it passing or rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say he averages 250 and 3 touchdowns. Doesn't matter about the interceptions. Doesn't matter whether they win or lose the game. But let's say he averages that for 6 games. Will you give the man some credit?
Have you seen the rest of the offense?
I'm just asking you, brother.
And I'm returning the favor.
Okay, so let's take a look. So let's take a look at the offense. So what is the biggest deficit? So
offensive line.
So Justin Fields. Okay, so his offensive line. Okay, so then what's the next biggest deficit?
A running game.
Okay, so now running game. Okay,
that don't involve Justin Fields.
Okay, so now what's the next biggest deficit?
Solve those two.
Go on, say it. What's the next biggest deficit?
What's the next biggest deficit?
Uh-huh.
I'll use my wife's voice. To all Bears fans, I ask this question of you.
Mister, will you please wake up?
Tight end. Because wide receiver for them is a strength. Okay, wide receiver for them is
weakness.
A strength.
It's a 1-game strength and a 4-game weakness. Try again.
Well, I will say it again. Based on all of those deficits that are part of this team, with the offensive line being one of them, a major factor.
Big one.
Okay. If he averages 250 yards and at least 3 touchdowns per game for at least 6 games, will you give the man his credit?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
Yes or no? It's a yes or no question.
Just a minute. How? Okay. If he averages, yeah, you know what I'm looking for now, right?
Go ahead. I want you to go ahead. Look it up. Look it up.
All right. If he averages, what'd you say, 250 yards, and is responsible for 3 touchdowns per game, will I give Justin Fields the credit supposedly he deserves?
Win, lose, or draw?
I'll answer that in 2 words.
Hell no.
Why not?
You really
for 6 games. Why not?
You really gonna make me go there, are you?
Yeah, I want you to go there with all these deficits that's in front of him,
and they're playing.
Tell me why not?
Because the upper management won't give him the weapons he need. I don't expect them to. I don't trust them to. And if I was a Bear fan, I wouldn't trust them to either.
Okay.
So you think getting rid of Chase Claypool, who's an absolute bum, is going to revive this Bear offense?
Hell no.
Well, apparently something happened because in the past 2 games he hasn't played, they've looked like world beaters. I mean, that whole thing with Denver, that's one for the NFL filmmakers to study. They give up 70, then they give up what? Then they wound up giving up the victory to the Raiders, and then they turn around and come back and beat them in a comeback victory. I mean,
I think I just broke my chair.
You can't even put that in a script.
There are a lot of games lately you can't put in a script. That being one of them.
Yeah, that whole scenario.
How the hell are you going to tell me? Listen, my wife and I were watching the scoreboards, okay? We were watching the Colts game, and then I had to run an errand. And Victor, it's not the fact that I don't like Justin Fields. I don't like the Bears because they have surrounded him with mediocrity and inconsistency. Does that answer your question?
But they're trying. You cannot lie and say that they are not trying.
Hell no.
Okay, let's take a look. Okay.
Hey, if they were trying, if they were truly trying, and I covered the draft this past spring, yes, they got an offensive lineman.
Hold on, we're gonna take a look at the Bears roster. I'm pulling it up. Hold on. We're gonna go through it. We're gonna walk through it.
So apparently my friend Bay is saying to me,
I didn't come for the massage, Funk. I came for the facial.
So he wants me to really go all the way there. Yes, I'm unloading all of it tonight. You know what, Bay? I love you. I love you dearly. And while
I am in such a good mood, man, you're killing me here.
While I'm making jokes out of this, when you sent me the text, folks, when he sent me the text message, he said, "You want to talk Chase Claypool?" I said, "Sure." And I'm already thinking in my mind, okay, how can I mess with him? How can I mess with Bears fans this way? All I got to think of is,
I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
But in true answer to your question, when I see the Bears get an offensive line to protect him, because that's one of the biggest deficits that they have right now. That is one of the biggest. It starts and ends up front in the trenches. Then yes, I will pay more attention to Justin Fields. He's got the tools. All right, don't get it twisted. He's got the tools. He is a hell of a running quarterback. He is a hell of an athlete. Now, him being a professional quarterback as opposed to what he did at Ohio State, which is otherworldly, don't get it twisted. You know, it's just, I want Stacey King.
I want to go higher.
Is what they should be saying right now. You got rid of Chase Claypool. Whoopee. You beat the Washington Redskins on their turf on Thursday Night Football. And we all know the track record of Thursday Night Football. Whoopee. All right. Take that momentum and run with it. You got 10 days off. All right. Make sure Khalil Herbert gets healthy, because right now Khalil Herbert's their best running back. And he proved it last night. 10 carries, 76 yards. You need to give Khalil Herbert the ball more. First of all, they need to heal. The Bears are beat up all over the place. They're beat up all over the place. If they can heal and take the momentum they have in what they had in this game against the Redskins and run the rest of the way with it, then I'll be fine. I just want some consistent football. And right now, the Bears ain't it. Does that answer your question?
Do you feel better?
I'm fine.
Okay, let me ask you.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question. Where did all of that about the Bears come from?
You're really going to give me the floor on that?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Man from Indiana.
In 1985, the Bears had one of
the Wait. Hold on. Before you begin, we got to make sure that we do this right, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, we got to make sure we do this right. Okay, so all right, so you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. And go.
In 85, the Bears had the best team, okay? Their offensive line was great. Their defensive line was otherworldly. They ran over everybody, saved the Miami Dolphins, and won the Super Bowl. After then, they started tearing the team apart. And the first piece to go was Wilbur Marshall. Since then, and I'm not even counting the 2006 team, and Victor will agree with me on this, they have not been consistent. But I will point to one game and one game only that, for me, outlines the plight of the current plight of the Chicago Bears. The NFC Championship 2010, they had the Green Bay Packers in their house. And if they had beaten them the last week of that season, they wouldn't have been in the playoffs anyway, talking about the Packers. They had the Green Bay Packers in their house. They allowed a half-baked, half-injured Aaron Rodgers to walk down the field and sock him in the mouth and stick it in the end zone, and they haven't been the same since. There's your answer.
So, and your problem with Justin Fields is that you feel that he doesn't have consistency.
Yep.
Okay. So, even if, despite all of the odds against him, the offensive line that we're looking at here, and the poor tight ends, and the poor running back, and the poor wide receivers, if he, again, 250, 3 touchdowns for 4 more games, consistency, if he shows growth and consistency, all right, you still won't give the man credit because they're not winning consistently?
Yep. I trust my eyes.
Okay, so
I may be old, but I trust my eyes. I want him to listen. I want Justin Fields to be the leader of this team. I want him to be one of the captains. I want him to lead this Bears offense. And yes, Justin Fields has a lot of inconsistencies that really piss me off about the quarterback position. And part of that is on Justin Fields, because when you barely complete 50% of your passes, and a lot of that is him telegraphing his throws. A lot of that is him, on a fundamental standpoint, telegraphing his throws. If he gets consistent and this Bears offense as a whole gets consistent, then yeah, I'll throw some credit on him, Justin Fields, and this Bears offense.
Okay, so how long has Matt Eberflus been the Bears head coach?
Who the hell is Matt Eberflus?
Okay, but seriously, how long has he been their head coach?
I'll repeat my question. Who the hell is that? Matt Eberflus.
Stop the cap.
They reached with that coaching selection. Okay? They reached.
So you have a defensive coordinator who's now the head coach.
Tiger uppercut.
There's your problem.
With Luke Getsy as the offensive coordinator.
Stop the cap.
All right. So as he said in the press conference, they were giving him too much information. So therefore, while he was out there on the field, he was too busy thinking instead of just playing up to it, just using his natural instinct. Make the read. You know you got a bad offensive line. You know by the time you pat that ball, your spider sense should be tingling. Pay attention to your spider sense. Move out of the pocket. Move. And in all honesty, when you know you have a weak offensive line, screens and a rolling pocket,
you just took
your repartee.
You just took the thoughts out of my head.
Right.
Roll the pocket.
Right. That slows down the pass rush. That gives you, so when you do just run a regular offensive pass play in the pocket, all right, the defensive linemen, they're thinking while they're trying to react. It slows them down because they're checking to see if they might be getting chipped, if there might be a rollout. Does it look like a screen? Am I getting through too easy? Let me read the guard. Hold up.
Is there a play action pass on?
Exactly. It wears on them mentally come the third quarter.
Yep.
I'm sorry. The music just threw me talking to you. It wears on them mentally.
Yeah, it does. It does. It
wears on them mentally. So if you can get consistent play, if you can at least get consistent play out of the quarterback to where it's not his fault that you lost the game. He threw 4 touchdown passes.
i.e. Denver.
Right. What's going on, Sick Diggy? If you I put it to you like this. If your quarterback is making good decisions with the football, he's scoring 4 touchdowns. I mean, 3 is decent. 4 is You're up there. You're talking Pro Bowl level. You should be winning football games.
And
Doesn't matter.
that sentence right, and that sentence right there, that sentence right there should tell you why I feel the way that I feel. If you're throwing, and we're trying to get, first of all, you got to get a consistent line, and you got to get Fields consistent also. I'll say it again. He's got the tools. He does. He has the tools. He's got the arm. He's got the legs. But you just said it best a moment ago. A moment ago. Your spider senses should be going completely off when you have a below average offensive line in front of you. And there are times where where his spider senses are not going off because the line is taking too long to develop. That's the point.
Look, sometimes it takes a young team. Well, yeah, most times it takes a young team. Time to gel, to develop. They have to learn how to play together. My point in the Chase Claypool trade, understand, if you have somebody that is being called out publicly, that everybody sees they're being lackadaisical. I mean, it's not like these guys aren't trying to win games.
Right.
That's not ridiculous. They're trying to win games. I mean, Kansas City is Kansas City. They're going to do that. You know, especially to where you have a young team trying to find themselves.
Exactly.
Right.
You play the team that's in front of you, and Kansas City was branded the Bears. Okay.
Right. You can only control what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So now here you have Chase Claypool. I mean, we all saw it. It's all on film. We all saw it in the game and everything.
Yep.
To where, as the coach said, that it came down to a point where, hold on, let me get back to this. Because I do want to play this. As the coach said, it came down to what he was doing in practice, what he was doing in the film room, what he was doing in walkthroughs, everything. So he just had a lackadaisical approach. And then the GM turned around and said, well, you know, you would think that a player who's in a contract year, because do understand, this is the last year of Chase Claypool's rookie deal. You know, this is the year that every veteran player knows, because even though you're on a rookie deal, you're a veteran by the time you're at the end of your contract. You already know you ball out, so that way you can get the most money possible.
Exactly.
What he was doing, as the GM said, that was so stupid. Like, I don't understand. It was a contract year for him. Like, maybe he'll learn from this. Being at the very bottom of the Dolphins roster.
If he sees the field at all.
Thank you.
Not a chance. And I say not a chance in hell that he sees the roster, that he sees the field. I beg your pardon.
It would have to be
they're going to hold him for 2 weeks, maybe 3, and then they're going to ship him off. No, more to the point, they're going to cut him. They're going to give him a
tiger uppercut
and tell him, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
And that's all going to be up to Chase Claypool. Because I have this thing I say on the political show where, you know, you are majority responsible for what happens to you in a lot of situations that go on in your life. It's all based on how you react or respond to things.
Right.
It changes the outcomes for you, whether they are positive or negative. If I were Chase
Claypool, I'd be taking a long look in the mirror and going,
what in the all types of blue hell
has happened to me?
Yeah, you're dumping out the trash can, ain't you?
I told you I'm emptying the chamber tonight, man.
Yeah, so if he goes into the Dolphins and he doesn't hit the playbooks, study hard in the film room, and run routes,
then I have the correct sound for what's going to happen to him. If he doesn't do all that in Miami, this is the end of Chase Claypool, and it sounds like this.
Yeah, he's gonna be done.
He's done.
He's gonna be done. And it's funny. It seems like the Steelers have this bad habit
Mm-hmm.
of players, especially wide receivers, that wind up leaving their team and then they're just an absolute nightmare.
Yep.
Absolute nightmare. Juju Smith-Schuster went to Kansas City on a 1 year,
Got a
prove it
Super
deal.
Bowl. Got a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah. But where is he now?
Languishing.
He's not in Kansas City anymore.
Nope.
I think where'd he go? Look it up.
New England. New England.
He went to New England.
that should answer. You know
Wow.
what? He should be screaming,
Get me out of here!
right now.
Oh my God.
But you got
God. He out there with Mac Jones.
Stop
the violent offender. The violent offender. Oh my God.
That's all I got. That
Stop the cap.
dear
I
God.
mean, we already know what happened with who was the head case? The one that Von Burfict destroyed him. He gave him the concussion, and he hasn't been right since. He out here in the Middle East pulling on his penis in the pool. What's the guy's name? The guy that was playing with Tom Brady and threw his stuff off. I can't even think of the man's name.
Antonio Brown?
So insignificant. Antonio Brown. Yes, thank you. He's so insignificant.
And he's always been insignificant since his days in Pittsburgh when he got out of order.
Right. With the whole recording Mike Tomlin in the locker room. I'm sorry I went on his name, but all I know is that he's illiterate as hell. He's got a bunch of kids. He assaults women. He rage quit.
Yep.
Let's just be honest. He rage quit. And it's funny because he was not this type of player until Vontaze Burfict popped him upside his noggin in the playoff game.
Mm-hmm. And he hasn't been right. He hasn't been right since. All right. I better use.
Say it.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm actually gonna use it.
Use the sound effect.
I'm going to use this sound effect right here. Since Vontaze Burfict gave Antonio Brown in a playoff game, he hasn't been right since. He went and got a bigger contract there instead of staying in KC with another chance to win another title. You know, and Alex, I do the same. I take Robbie Chosen Anderson over Claypool anytime, because at least Robbie Anderson, I think, has got it together.
I can tell you what the issue is. All right, this is why I brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with Robbie Anderson, I'm not calling him that goofy shit.
Me neither.
He can't catch.
He really can't.
He's very inconsistent. He has the speed. He has the agility to make a catch and run and shake people and go for 80 yards. He's very slithery. He reminds me of Webster Slaughter, but he can't catch.
Webster Slaughter.
That's probably why the Dolphins said, you know what? Yeah, he's a big body receiver. He's very fast. Come on in here. Yeah, I mean, he's like, what's his name also reminds me of Webster Slaughter.
Number 84, Webster Slaughter.
Who's the guy that played for the Browns? Damn. OBJ. OBJ reminds me of Webster Slaughter. He has Webster Slaughter's style.
Don't get me started on OBJ. Good
yeah,
Lord.
like you're not a game breaker, but you know, you can catch.
He can catch, but OBJ's never been a game breaker.
Right.
And it got worse when he got to Cleveland.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's a goddamn shame that didn't work out, but that's a whole different Browns podcast. I don't even want to talk about.
That's a whole different show right there.
Yeah, I don't even want to.
And you'll need at least 90 minutes to get those frustrations out.
Yeah. You know what? I put it to you like this. I can sum it up to you like this, just based on performance of how when Mayfield shined when OBJ went out of games with injuries or whatnot, whenever he wasn't playing, and how he didn't shine when OBJ was there, and why he couldn't get him the ball. It wasn't OBJ, it was Baker Mayfield. For some reason, the OBJ situation gave him a mental block that he's just now really overcoming down there in Tampa.
Yeah. He couldn't get over that block. And
right.
When they were playing together, the one game I can identify where OBJ was giving Baker Mayfield all kinds of fits was a Monday night game in San Francisco. Because remember, OBJ was just, getting into the offense, getting into the groove. Mayfield and OBJ were just making that connection, and then they went to Santa Clara. And you know the rest.
That, you know what? I put it to you like this. The Niners defense was, we're used to playing the Ravens. We're used to playing the Steelers. Yep. All right. We play them twice a year. And then some random team like the Niners. So, and we play Kansas City every year. We face Chris Jones. We know what he can do. Right. But he doesn't bother us. He's never been a big threat to the Browns. We almost beat Kansas City, except Baker Mayfield was screwing the shit up. At any rate, they had never seen such ferocity from a defensive line before. Because Baker Mayfield played so goddamn scared in that game. I'm sorry, I don't mean to curse, but he played so scared that game. He was he was like a deer in headlights.
You could tell that from the first drive. You could tell that from the first drive of the game when the Browns went 3 and out. And then what the 49ers do, they stuck the ball in the belly of Matt Breida, and Breida broke it for 83 yards, and the Niners were off to the races, and the Browns were stuck in neutral.
Yeah, the game was over.
A highlight game. This was a highlight game for the Cleveland Browns.
That was the game. Baker Mayfield was Jim Everett 89 NFC Championship game. Imagine if he did that on the opening drive and then had to continue to go out there and finish the rest of the 59 minutes and 55 seconds on that clock. Imagine that.
I was watching that game earlier because I got the original broadcast of that game, Rams and 49ers. The Rams got the first 3 points of the game and then got beat to hell after that game.
Yeah, but man, it was pathetic. But outside of that, it's fine. We finally turned the corner with Watson. Baker is doing what he's doing in Tampa Bay. I don't know why people are even bringing it up. As far as because reporters are asking him about what's going on in Cleveland, and supposedly he took a shot. He said he doesn't know why it didn't work out. Like, dude, yes, the hell you do.
Exactly.
Quit on the team on the last game of the season. You shouldn't have played. You should have sat out. When you suffered that shoulder injury,
you should have been shelved.
You should have sat out.
You should have been shelved for the rest of the season after that shoulder injury, and you went down.
Right. They had already picked up your 5th-year option before training camp began. So you was guaranteed to come back healthy and have another shot at being the long-term future at quarterback for the Browns. You had the shot, but you tried to play hero ball, and you blamed all of your shortcomings on everybody else. But your biggest downfall, if anybody paid any attention, Kurt Warner does a quarterback breakdown. And he did the all 22 breakdown of Baker Mayfield. And he was true. He pointed out some play designs that were bad. Pointed out that sometimes the wide receiver didn't run his route. But the biggest thing was Baker Mayfield was not making his reads.
No. He was too scared to make his reads. He was too scared to go through his progressions. Again, I go back to that 49er game in Santa Clara, and I use a phrase that Victor used with me when we talked about it.
Oops, I'm sorry. Is this better? I'm sorry. My mic was on.
There you go. There you go.
I'm sorry. Did I sound far away?
Yeah.
Why did you say something? I'm sitting up here talking.
I didn't know you had that microphone handy. I thought you used like a desk stand.
know I got rid of that. I bought this my birthday present.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sitting up here just talking. Nobody said nothing. Like I can't hear you. So I
You
was
sounded
look
good
like,
anyway.
oh, okay.
Well, you sounded good anyway. It's
Yeah,
that
but when I swung my hands, I'm like, how come I didn't hit nothing? Then I looked. Normally, I'm just tearing my knuckles up.
that's me every morning.
Yeah.
That's me every morning with this. Cole sent me this microphone here because I had another one. He sent me this one here, but this one's like real heavy, so I got to get a stronger boom arm for it. So each morning, at least 3 times a show, I'm doing this and adjusting it. So yeah,
Sorry about that, Swifty.
I get it. I get it.
Okay, so I want to answer this in the blood. I want to respond to the statement. It said I blame Stefanski for not sitting Baker all that time. And you know what? You have to understand who our backup quarterback was. All right. And I mean, truth be told, he shouldn't have been our backup quarterback. What's going on, AB Media? But we had no idea that Baker Mayfield would be hurt. And just like right now, the situation for the Browns right now, facing the same situation with Deshaun Watson in the shoulder. All right. And there's a video out here. I want to break this down where you saw Deshaun Watson with Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry, the GM, and the rest of the coaching staff having a meeting of the minds on the practice field, talking to Deshaun Watson. And they both gave Deshaun Watson a pat on the shoulder, his throwing shoulder, as they walked away. Now, I do understand he missed last week's game because they said he couldn't throw the ball past 10 yards.
Right.
And he was a game time scratch. Kevin Stefanski walked away very quickly and what looks to be very dejectedly, like pissed offedly. Like he did not like what he heard.
I love that phrase.
So
I gotta use that now.
Yeah,
I gotta use that. Pissed off.
That's one of my $12 words. So,
hey Victor, we got a new word to use on the morning show now. Pissed offedly. Because I broke out something during the picks this morning. I busted out Ron White during our segment when we did the picks because I called a game in incorrect. I actually we were talking about Anthony Richardson of the Colts, and I am impressed with Anthony Richardson so far.
Me too.
So what do I do?
Strangely.
So what do I do? I said I said I prematurely judged Anthony Richardson, and then I bust out Ron White and I go, and that's profiling. And profiling is wrong.
So, but you're right. I mean, so anyway, so Andrew Berry had to call Kevin Stefanski by name, like, hey, Kevin. So Kevin had to stop because Andrew Berry was trying to catch up with him.
Right.
I mean, he was carrying him right down the hall. Clack, 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 clack. You know, he was gonna go tell the manager. At any rate, he stopped and he stopped Kevin because Kevin was heading inside. And I'm thinking that he might have been calling himself going inside. Maybe Andrew Berry thought that he was going inside to talk to the owner.
Right.
Because everybody knows that if you talk to the owner, you'll get your way. And that was the problem for so many years with him owning the team. So he started just listening to one voice. All right. So at any rate, Andrew Berry stopped them, and then they had a talk. And it looked like Andrew Berry was trying to smooth something over. And I said to myself, I said, I think the only thing that would probably piss Kevin off like that is if because we're on a bye week. Is if Deshaun Watson does not stay in Cleveland or in Ohio to get treatment. I said that would be the only thing that would piss him off. So what did I see today?
Oh boy. All right, let's have it. What'd you see?
Deshaun Watson's in Houston. I saw this before I came on here to come and talk to you about this trade. I saw that Deshaun Watson was in Houston. And I'm like, why the hell is Deshaun Watson? I said, okay. I said, yep, that's why Kevin's pissed. That's why Kevin's pissed. Like, dude, you totally told us all week that you was able to play. Yep. And then come Sunday, 10 o'clock, you hit me saying, no, I can't play after I done gave you all the first team reps and everything. So now I'm forced to start this 12th string rookie quarterback
12th string
against the Ravens of all teams. Kevin Bond is garbage.
He said 12th string quarterback.
Right. I mean, so I'm hoping, based on the Baker Mayfield situation that happened 2 years ago, and also the situation that happened last year, I'm hoping that during the bye week that they get a veteran quarterback.
Yep.
Matt Ryan.
Because DTR is not the answer either.
No. You need to get a veteran quarterback. Get them to come. Look, they'll probably gladly come in here and play for $4 million. You know.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah, just give me some stuff I can handle. I know draws, I know screens, I know slants.
Because I can't throw the big ball downfield anymore.
Right. Don't look for that. Well, that's fine because our offense isn't predicated on that. Yeah, I know. We see y'all running triple reverses and screens 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage with the tight end. Yeah, we see that you're not predicated on throwing the ball down the field.
They're trying to copy Bill Walsh and every version they're in.
Look. No, Bill Walsh. Look, Bill Walsh threw the ball down the field, okay?
He sure did, and he ran the ball down your throat.
Dwight Clark was sneaky fast.
Man, Dwight Clark burnt people. He didn't burn them, he burnt them, okay? Because you never thought that Dwight Clark would be that fast. 6'4" out of Clemson. He burned everybody that tried to defend him.
What was he, like a 12th round pick?
7th round. Seventh round pick, I believe. But I know he played at Clemson.
Yeah, he played at Clemson. Because I'll never forget the story he told where he said he was sitting at a cafe with next to Joe Montana and he thought Joe Montana was the kicker.
Dear God, I remember that.
Yeah, no, Nick Foles is not the type of look. Nick Foles needs to know your system in order to come off the bench and win Super Bowls. Like literally, he's got to be sitting on your bench for a good year.
Dwight Clark was a 10th round pick out of Clemson.
Okay, 10th round pick. I knew he was in them double digits.
Yep, 10th round pick out of Clemson in 1979.
So.
He said we gotta get more than a 12th round pick. I will never forget that phrase. We gotta get a 12th round. We have a 12th round quarterback. Not just a 12th round pick, ladies and gentlemen, a 12th round quarterback. How unfair is that they demolished the last 5 rounds of the draft in the early 80s to make it 7 rounds instead of 12, and you got a 12th round quarterback.
They got him in the supplemental draft. I mean, he wasn't even an unrestricted free agent. I mean, he was. Nobody got him. They got him in the supplemental.
Not as bad.
Right. Thank you, Big Kev. Kev said it. Let's not act like Stefanski's play calling isn't super predictable. Right. And this is the issue. The whole defense against the Browns sits within a 15-yard squat.
Yeah.
If not 10. If they look like they're in a run set, they come up. The safeties and the linebackers come up to try to stop Chubb. All right. With him no longer being there, when they see him in run sets, and I hate to say this, but yes, the Browns offensive line, their interior offensive line, is looking very much its age. And Posick, our center, he wasn't playing too well, and now he's down.
Yep.
Okay. So I don't know when he's coming back, but it's a good thing that we didn't cut Nick Harris.
Right.
All right.
You needed Nick Harris.
And right.
And Nick Harris.
Right. And they took Twyman, the center from Ohio State. They moved him over to guard behind Betonio.
Didn't y'all have Billy Price out of Ohio State for a while?
No, I don't.
I swear
to
God.
As a starter, no.
No, okay. Okay, not as a starter.
Right, not as a starter. Right. So, I mean, so the running game is suffering. And the passing game is suffering because they're squatting on your passes.
Yep.
So this is why that last pass, the bomb he threw to Amari Cooper. All right, that's why Amari Cooper was wide open. He split the safety and the corner. They didn't really think Deshaun Watson was going to throw him the ball. They sat there looking at Watson as Amari Cooper ran by. I'm like, you going to throw it to him? He was wide open because they don't throw it deep. So,
nope.
Yeah, his offense, trust me, we've been on, those of us that talk Browns, we've been talking about Kevin Stefanski's play calling.
And look at Kev's comment. Based on how well Brock Purdy is doing in San Francisco as Mr. Irrelevant, that sounds more like a Cleveland problem more than anything else. If anybody has seen the YouTube documentaries that have been floating out there about the quarterback problems that the Browns have had since they've returned, as well as the many general managers and coaches, as well as the quarterbacks that have come through Cleveland, that statement right there and everything that's happened within since 1999, it lends a lot of credence to that.
Right. This is why the beauty of Andrew Berry being there. All right. And Paul D. Podesta being the voice in the owner's ear. This is why it works, because he has a man in the building that he can trust.
Yeah.
And he has a man that works next to him that if he feels that he's having a football problem, he'll go and talk to D. Podesta first. Don't talk to nobody else. Don't talk to Andrew Berry. Don't talk to Kevin Stefanski. Don't talk to come to me. Come to me. Let me be the go-between. All right? Because you meddle, you cause these problems. So stop. We have a guy in place at GM that knows what he's doing. When does the last look? It's damn lucky that the Eagles let us have him.
Yeah.
Because it was a promotion for him. It wasn't a lateral move, it was a promotion. Because when his mentor, Sashi Brown, when he got fired, all right, Nixon, that stupid trade for the Bengals we would have lost Nick Chubb.
AJ McCarron.
Yeah, we would have lost. Yeah, for a 2 and a 3. That second round pick became Nick Chubb. No, hell no. Sashi Brown fell on the sword by nixing that trade, by sending in the paperwork at 4:01 for the trade to the NFL. He intentionally sabotaged the trade.
A trade for AJ McCarron.
That
happened.
So it cost Sashi Brown his job. All right. But his apprentice was already in the building, Andrew Berry. He was supposed to have been promoted. But instead of him doing that, he went listening to somebody else, and then he brought in who's that buffoon from Kansas City? I can't even think of his name. He always wore a sweater. Damn it. Let's see.
While he thinks,
at any rate,
while he thinks of the name, this is my thought on the state of the Cleveland Browns right now, and in part the Chicago Bears.
At any rate, he didn't hire Kevin Stefanski.
John
John
Dorsey.
Dorsey. Thank
John
you,
Dorsey.
Big Kev. John Dorsey. He brought this idiot in. He screwed up the salary cap, and then he screwed up the draft. All right, because Baker Mayfield was not the quarterback that was supposed to have been taken number 1 overall. They didn't want him.
Nope.
They didn't want him.
They didn't.
Take a guess who they were looking to draft.
Remind me.
Go
Who
ahead.
were they looking?
Take a guess.
I
Who
can't-
else got drafted in that draft?
Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
I had to think about it for a moment, but
That's who they wanted to grab. They wanted to grab Patrick Mahomes. Kansas City saw what they saw.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted Patrick Mahomes, but instead John Dorsey drafted Baker Mayfield because he got spunk and gumption. And then hired a Bubba to coach him. God damn. We wasted a whole year. And you know what? That's when the talk about us wasting Nick Chubb's career, Nick Chubb's and Myles Garrett's careers, like we did Joe Thomas, how we wasted his career.
And Joe Thomas is a Hall of Famer.
Right. And never played in the playoff game.
Never.
And
it the whole clown show in Cleveland reminds you of the clown show going on in Pittsburgh with their offense under Matt Canada.
Swifty.
Does that tell you anything?
Look, all I can say is that right now, you say Patrick Mahomes was drafted in 2017.
He's right. Mayfield was drafted a year after Mahomes.
Was he? Who was the other quarterback? Who was the other quarterback in the 2018 draft? The one that's balling out right now. Hold on. Let's take a look.
Tua.
No, not him.
I think it's Tua. It's not Tua. No, it ain't Joe Burrow either, because Burrow.
It was the one that's in what's the name? The one that's in Buffalo.
Josh Allen.
Yep.
Josh Allen.
Sorry, I got everything mixed up. But yeah, it was Josh Allen. The Browns were looking to draft Josh Allen.
Yep.
Because I remember them talking about would he have developed the way that he has right now had he went to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Because Sam Darnold, some people would thought that it would be here. Let me show you. Some people thought that it would be Sam Darnold. All right, who wound up going 3 to the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he went to a dumpster fire. And then Josh Allen, he went to let's look, to be honest, Buffalo wasn't a dumpster fire. They just needed a quarterback, and Josh Allen wound up being, you know, as they say now, he is him. All right, he is him. So Josh Rosen, of course, not even in the league. He went to Arizona. I remember people were saying
Josh Rosen. Oh dear Lord.
Yeah. I remember people saying we should have drafted him. I'm like, man, you're on drugs.
I remember that.
And then, of course, nobody thought about Lamar Jackson.
No, that's the strangest thing. No one even thought of Lamar Jackson. No, everyone thought Lamar Jackson after that incredible year in Louisville was a one-hit wonder. They thought he was a one-hit wonder.
Well, he's actually proven me wrong about his passing ability.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I put it to you like this. If he can do 250 yards, 3 touchdowns a game in this type of offense, if he can average that on a new offense, a passing offense, he's doing pretty good.
They got to get a coordinator first. Because Luke Getsy ain't it.
I mean, neither is Todd Monken, but we were talking about this the other day, the last time we were on, about the coaching trees, about the lack of intelligence.
Oh God. Do you see this suggestion in the chat now?
How about Ryan Tannehill?
They actually suggested Ryan Tannehill or Tannehill or whatever.
What about him? Did I miss
What
something?
about him? Exactly. What about him? What about him?
Yeah. Plus, remember that Josh Allen sucked for his first 2 years in the NFL. Yeah.
Because Josh Allen was called upon to be the entire offense. Quite frankly, he was called upon to be the entire offense because they didn't have a running game, which they've now seemed to have developed. And now and now you're taking some of the pressure off of Josh Allen to do the darn thing.
Yeah, because once it's in the blood is right. Once they brought in Stephon Diggs, that's when he started balling out. But the thing is, they still haven't brought in a competent running back. You need a running back that can. You need a power back that can bowl through tackles because do understand you play up there in Buffalo. Yes. Eventually, you have to stop running this guy, which means you have to stop calling so many running plays. I mean, you have to stop calling so many passing plays. You need a power back.
You need a dog at running. You need a dog at running back.
Right.
You need that one. What's the term I use? You need that bell cow running back.
You're right. That can run. I mean, you're already in a spread offense.
Mm-hmm.
So he's dealing with all he has to do is get past the defensive line, and he's dealing with 200 and something pound linebackers that weigh about as much as he do, and cornerbacks that weigh even less.
Right.
So he's a good stiff arm away from gaining 65 yards.
Yep.
Before being pushed out of bounds or tackled from behind or something like that. That was the beauty that was supposed to have been this season for us. But at any rate, but yeah, they need to spend their number one pick. In all honesty, let's just be honest. Buffalo should go after Taylor.
Really?
Yeah, they should go after Jonathan Taylor. If they are serious about going to the Super Bowl, they need to go after Jonathan Taylor.
If they were serious about the Super Bowl, and I know I'm going to throw a lot of smoke in the faces of Buffalo Bills fans and Bills Mafia, if they were serious about going to the Super Bowl, they wouldn't have been outbid for Christian McCaffrey.
Well, I mean, you can't bankrupt your team.
True, very true.
Right.
You can't, but hell, look at what the Rams did. They bankrupt their team 3 different times. They mortgaged their future 3 different times in the same season.
Wonder what that means. That's my text message notifier.
I think some of your friends are texting you I don't have enough volume on here yet. I think some of your friends are texting you and telling you tripping a lot.
Look, I put it to you like this. If the Bills made the Taylor trade, all right, because I'm pretty sure it's going to cost them a number 1 pick.
Mm-hmm.
And in all honesty, for a back like that, he's a bell cow back. He has power, he has speed, and he has wide receiver hands.
Mm-hmm.
That's the final piece in your puzzle. Because when I look back at a team that could have reached the Super Bowl if they had a bell cow back,
it would have been the Buffalo Bills.
Well, they had a bell cow back. Their problem was their defense was ahead of their time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because they had a pass defense. Okay, you had the pass rushers at linebacker. You had what's his name, Bruce Smith, who was a pass rushing defensive end more so than a run stuffing defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So of course, when you play against a team like Dallas,
or the New York Giants,
the Giants, the Redskins, all right, these are teams that are known for their ability to run the ball down your throat. Oh, and they can throw.
And 4 times in the Super Bowl, it all ended up with.
Yeah, and their defense is built to stop the run and knock out your puny little wide receivers. I swear to God, one image that sticks with me.
James Lofton, Don Beebe.
Yeah, puny guys.
I'll never tell, but puny.
There was an image I'll never forget. It was an NFL Films footage. They were doing this, doing their thing about the Super Bowl, and they were showing Andre Reed slow motion going over the middle to make the catch, and he dropped the ball. And then into the picture came charging up Pepper Johnson.
Yeah.
And Pepper Johnson looked like he was getting ready to tackle his 8-year-old nephew out in the backyard in full football pads. He was huge.
Yeah, he was.
And I'm like, yeah, that's why y'all lost that game. You were just out. You were out. You were out hit. You got out hit.
And that's it. You got out hit. That's it, and that's all.
I hate that I missed last night's game. You say Dorsey also traded for OBJ, Jarvis, Wyatt Teller, and Kareem Hunt. He also drafted Chubb, Mayfield, and Ward. It's not like he made terrible moves as a GM outside of hiring Kitchens as head coach. Yeah, but he also put us in serious salary cap trouble. We had to make some changes, some modifications. And if you look at it, OBJ is not there anymore. Jarvis is not there anymore. Wyatt Teller cannot pass block to save his life. And his run blocking this year has been suspect. Kareem Hunt, he left because he was disgruntled. I mean, I understand these guys. It could have been something special. I get what you're saying there, Big Kev. But the personalities just did not mesh because Kareem Hunt, the reason why he didn't resign because he was disgruntled playing second fiddle to Nick Chubb. So he wanted out. So the Browns put him up for trade. They wanted a 5th round pick. Nobody offered the trade. So he played his last year in Cleveland and he looked slow.
Very.
Yeah, he looked slow. So now that Chubb is out, they brought him back because he was a free agent. Nobody even wanted to pick him up, not even as a backup.
Nobody wanted to take a chance on him.
Right. They didn't want to take a chance. They still, they saw what his year looked like last year. So now Chubb is out. Mayfield is in Tampa, and Ward is, after the slow start last year, he got his stuff together, and he's playing a whole lot better. Yeah, and you have to admit, hiring Kitchens as head coach was a huge mistake, but those are the type of mistakes that cost the GM his job.
The mistakes that get paid for, I'll tell you.
Right. And talent, you're right. Talent does cost money. And when I surround my number 1 pick at quarterback with OBJ and Jarvis Landry, you also had David Njoku from the Hugh Jackson era, right? You also had the big contract he signed that. No, he didn't do that. No, and he wasn't there. No, I was about to say Austin Hooper, but that wasn't an Andrew Berry mistake.
Hayden Hurst was
Hayden Hurst. No, I'm just going by the talent that I knew that we had under Dorsey, and how it just didn't work out because Baker Mayfield had this. First you had that horrible year. Oh, that's right. He only really had 1 year under John Dorsey.
Right.
And that was the Freddie Kitchens year. And that's what cost him his job. And then they went and got Andrew Berry, who should have been, my whole point is that Andrew Berry should have been promoted to GM anyway. So we wound up wasting another year.
A whole year.
on Nick Chubb and Myles Garrett's careers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another year out of the tank for
Thanks
them.
for coming aboard on the go with CeeLo.
On that note, I'm gonna go ahead and take off.
Go ahead.
I gotta get some stuff done around the house, and then I gotta crash. But I invite your followers to check me out because I will have coverage of Kentucky and Georgia tomorrow at 6:45. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff between the hedges in Athens. And of course, Sunday night, I'll have Cowboys and 49ers from Levi's in Santa Clara.
All right.
I can't wait to do both of those.
Yeah, look at that. 28 million combined.
Yeah. 28 million combined. How about that?
At least we got a playoff win out of it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, man.
All right. So you guys get some sleep. And guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch y'all Monday? Monday.
Yeah, I'll be
Sunday and Monday.
Monday. Yep. I'll be up on Monday.
All right. Peace.
Thanks a lot.